Hello everybody. This is my 2011 Honda 420 Rancher TA. It has the push button shift and the automatic transmission, so it shifts by itself. I recently got it and I had a 350 and I wanted to upgrade to independent suspension, which this one has. And I recently got this machine, but I noticed it doesn't have an accessory outlet. My 350 had one, which I use a lot for my phone. This one did not. However, you can buy an accessory that comes from Honda and you can mount it to the front metal rack, and it's about right here. But I wanted to do my own, right on the side of the plastic fenders, and that's what I'm doing. Now the nice thing about the 420, it does come with its own wire for that plug, so I'm using that, because using that I have both negative and positive, and it only comes on when I turn the key on. So whatever accessories I add, they will only turn on when I turn the key on, which is what I want. So what I'm doing at this point is I bought a fuse box, which I'm mounting underneath here, that's pretty dry and covered. That's for my positive. I'm going to hook up the positive from this wire here, the accessory wire, to that, and then I'm going to hook up the negative, which is the green wire. The positive is the white and black stripe one. The green wire is the negative. I'm going to hook that up and extend it over to here, and this will be a distributor for the negative. So when I add other accessories, I have plenty of space in my fuse box and my ground wire. I plan on adding hand warmers for plowing in the winter, maybe an LED light, and so on. I have the option to add more using this supply. I'll make sure I don't overload it, but that's what I plan on doing. So at this point, this machine is apart because I've gone over it since I just bought it to make sure everything's good, clean it all up, and it's ready to go. And I'm doing the wiring now while it's taking this stuff apart. So I'll show you what I'm going to do next. I've mounted the negative distribution piece here. This is dry. I'm trying to mount everything where it's dry, just like the this fuse box here. It's pretty dry. It's covered. This is my front plastic fender on the Rancher 420, and what I did is I drilled a hole here, 1/8 inch hole, which I'm going to put my one of these two. I'm going to put my USB plug for my phone to charge my phone, and then I drilled another hole opposite side. There's plenty of clearance underneath here for my accessory plug, so I'll have two of them. And this is what I wanted instead of the Honda accessory plug that comes, that you buy from Honda and you mount on the rack. I finished running a ground wire to my Blue Sea Systems strip here. That's the main ground wire coming in from the auxiliary switch that's connected to the key. I brought the front fender in. I hung it from up above to support it. I'm going to put the plugs here and run my wires to both negative and positive. I ran the all the wires, ran them up in here. There's the two positives on the fuse box, and started running the negatives. I'll cut them out afterwards. There's one of the connectors, there's the other. So at this point I ran the wires, made all the connections. These I'm going to just leave here, and I'm going to pull them once I move the fender up, and then I'll do these ends after. So I'm ready to move the fender on the machine and then adjust the wires. I've connected the wires to the outlets on both sides. I also covered it with liquid tape This stuff works pretty well. Just put it on there, a couple of coats. You have to wait about 15 minutes between coats. So I hooked up all the negatives right here. It's all set, ready to go. I hooked the battery up, the negative on the battery, the main battery to the machine. I had disconnected it before I started. I did all this without any power to the machine, so I just hooked it back up. I put a voltage meter in the accessory slot here. When I turn the machine on, that should come on. So I'm going to turn the machine on now. Power is on. Okay. So, 12 volts to the accessory plug. So that's working. That's good. And on the other side is the USB connection for the phone hookup, which I'm going to put over here. So that's ready to go, and that has a voltage meter too. By the way, I did put a couple of fuses in the fuse box right there. 1, 2, because I have 2 connectors up here. But I'm gonna, right now there's a 10 and a 15. I'm gonna take those out. I don't have any right now. I'm gonna take those out and put like a 5 or even less fuses. That fuse box also comes with a cover that goes on it. This cover right here goes on that fuse box to cover it all up. Have the negative wires all done, protected and capped. I changed the fuses, went out and got a couple of 5, actually a 3 amp and a 10 amp. I'm using a 3 amp for the USB, and I put the cover back on the fuse box, put a little bit of electrical liquid tape on the bolt and the connection, and I'm gonna put everything back on. I put all the body moldings back on. Pretty much done. Got the outlet here, the 12 volt outlet. Let's see if it works. Have the USB one here. Let's see if it works. Turn the key on. Okay. Oh, again, got the voltage there. That's working. Put it up. Then come over here. Got the USB, and that's working just fine. So I'm done. Better than having the Honda accessory plug right here. That's the way it would be if I had bought it. I think that this is cleaner and better, in my opinion.